you ever wondered how to build trust through email? Welcome back to the Path to Purpose podcast with Dr. Katja Rusanen. In today's episode, we are exploring another inspiring journey, offering expert tips to help you live your purpose. Are you ready to be inspired? I'm super excited to introduce our guest, Deb Coman, who is a content conversion strategist and copywriter. Deb guides impact-driven service providers and healers to create content that converts. By developing and deploying trust-building email and social media posts, service providers discover a faster way to attract and enroll their next 3 to 5 ideal clients each month. And that was featured in BuzzSumo's top 100 content marketers to follow right now, as well as Now Marketing Group's top 113 digital marketing experts to follow. So you are up for a treat here. And in this interview, we will explore how to build trust through email. So welcome, Deb. I'm super excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Katja. I'm excited to speak with your audience today.
And I'm curious, was there a special event that led you to this path?
As an entrepreneur, yes, I did not start out this way. I worked in human services and in counseling in the mental health field. And for me, my path to becoming a mom was the time I realized I really wanted to be able to spend more time with my kids when they were little. And that feeling continued to wanting to spend more time with them as they got older before they headed off to college and such. So it was a turning point for me where I realized I need to figure out how to build something on my own. And that was the beginning of my business.
Beautiful. And you totally have the gifts with words and how to communicate, and more importantly, also communicate in a way that builds trust. And I love having you here because communication is such a key. And I know many of in our audience, they are messengers of light and love, and they want to create a big, meaningful impact in the world. But there is this common belief that email marketing doesn't work anymore. So what are your thoughts on that?
It's not true. And it's like a lot of the things in the online world, we tend to hear this isn't working, that's not working, social media is a waste of time. And here's the thing. That is true for some people who don't have the right strategy, the right intention, the right support around using these vehicles to connect with their ideal clients. So for those people, I'm sure it does feel like it doesn't work. But what I'm here to share about is that there are specific reasons why it may not be working for some people listening in today. And tune in to see where you see yourself or your practices and where there's great opportunity to not only build your list and communicate, but also to find your ideal clients in there and have them raise their hands and become clients that hire you or buy from you.
And that's the way also then for us to really truly serve, because we want to help those people, but we want to get more yeses so that we can really do the work that we are here to do. So let's dive a little bit deeper here, because you mentioned there are reasons why many, especially the spiritual business owners, aren't getting clients and sales from their email list. So can you share a little bit what you have seen? What are those reasons? Because I believe awareness is the key. So let's go there.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm so glad you said that, Katja, because sometimes when we get the awareness alone, it can shift things for us because we just make different decisions and factor that in as we're taking a look at what our typical practices were versus what we may want to start implementing or improving upon so that we can serve more people and make more money. And even as spiritual entrepreneurs, it's okay to want to make more money as you're providing service to other people. It's a way that everybody can benefit. But there are some specific things, and some of the common ones are what I'd love to share with people because I think you may be more likely to see yourself if you're listening in. When email marketing is not working, you have a list, you've built a list, but they're not buying. There's sometimes quite obvious reasons, but we don't always think about it. And number one is, are you emailing your list consistently? And it's astounding, actually, how many people are not. They feel like they've got them on the list. They sent a couple of emails that went out automatically in the beginning. And when there's reason to email, they'll email. But as we all know, as busy entrepreneurs, time can slip away and we don't always recognize that we haven't emailed our email list in a bit if we're not making that a priority. So it's not necessarily frequency, but it is about consistency and having some kind of regular communication with the people who said they wanted to learn from you and hear from you and connect with you. So number one is that consistency piece. Number two is there are a lot of business owners who feel like they need a good big reason to email. And oftentimes that's around a promotion, or they're on a podcast, or they're participating in a giveaway or a summit, or they would like to sell this thing that they created or a service. So that's when they email. And frequently we're going to email a fair amount of emails during that time. But that's another big mistake, to just jump in and do that if you haven't been consistently emailing all along. And often we then stop the emails when the promotion ends, when the giveaway ends, and we might even take a longer break because we feel like we had been communicating so frequently. So it really kind of messes with the flow of the communication lines. And then the third most common one is, and again, when you hear it, you may think, yeah, okay, this is me. Many business owners are not making regular offers at all in their emails. They just don't look at it that way. They feel like it's pushy, or they feel like they just haven't gotten around to it. People know them. Of course, they know what they do and how to work with them, but that's not how it works. It's really up to us to make it easy for the people that we're communicating with, to let them know we have a solution, how they can see if it's for them and buy it or hire us if we're, the timing is right and they're ready to get that help. So those are the top three. Many people see themselves in one or all, or a combination of that consistency, of only emailing around really big events and offers and promotions, and or excuse me, not making any offers at all is surprisingly common.
Yeah. And I often hear, I don't want to bother. Like, I'm not sending, I don't like receiving emails. So I don't want to send emails. And let's talk about the mindset a little bit here, because I think one thing is actually send the email or write the email, send it out. But often what's hold us back as well is that mindset,
Yes.
what we are thinking in our heads. So what's one key mindset shift that unlocks building the trust also?
Yeah.
Like that's a key here. Not just emailing, but building trust with email subscribers. So can you share a little bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. And mindset is a really big piece. And I know for your audience, they're very tuned in to probably what their intentions are and their mindset shifts and their beliefs around certain things. But still, sometimes we can have some spots that we're not so aware of. So hopefully this will resonate for some people. That the biggest one was, so there are many, like you said, you don't want to be a bother, you don't want to bug people with emails, you don't want to be pushy, you come from a place of service, not marketing. But these are the ways that we help more people in the end. But the biggest mindset shift too that many don't explore is that although these people are subscribers who signed up, that they are our community. And this single shift to start thinking of them as our community, our email community, and even start to use that language when we refer to them, not only are they our community, but we are in community with the people that have joined our list. And this sets the stage for what we want is two-way communication. Email is not about us talking at or to our captive audience. And sometimes when we don't make this mindset shift, without realizing it, that's how we're writing our emails. Like we're standing on a podium, we're making announcements or a formal speech instead of a conversation. So when we make this shift to think of our email subscribers as a community that we are a part of, we can enter into the space of writing those emails, sending those emails, being more consistent, because we want some back and forth. We want to hear from them, know what they're dealing with, let them know they can email us at any time, whether we're actively asking for that or just writing in a way that creates that connection where they want to respond and let us know. So that's a really big one that can have some long-lasting impact.
I love it because it's really opening up that two-way communication, because sometimes we might forget we just send emails, but it is also that two-way communication. And I love hearing my community when they share their journeys, share their exciting news. And like, I love those moments, whether it is asking light, whether it is sharing something that is going on in their life or celebrations. So I love those moments. And it is really a key as well here that you shared, like start building that in, like communication is two ways.
Even though we know it's asynchronous communication in a way, we don't know when people are going to open it. We do know a whole lot of people are on that list, hopefully. We still need to write it in a way that we're speaking to one person who's with us in the room. And that, like you said, Katja, we're engaging in a conversation with them and we're inviting them, whether it's active, please let me know what's happening. Let me know what you would add to this list, those kind of things. Or also just creating that connection that over time, they feel that emotional connection and trust that they choose on their own to drop you an email that says, loved this really helped me. I didn't know that or whatever. And it's so rewarding as a business owner when we send those emails out and suddenly we get a few or 5 or 10 or more responses from people that have been there sometimes for a while and been pretty quiet. So it's also validation that people are paying attention that don't always let us know. So we need to have some trust in that end too, that there's a reason why we're reaching out to people consistently and engaging in that hopefully two-way conversation.
Yes, love it. And as we are talking this now, like some might be like, oh, oopsie, I have been not doing that, or I haven't been emailing to my list. I haven't been nurturing my list. So what are the steps to start activating your email subscribers? Actually, also first to have that communication go happening, and then eventually also to buy so you can serve them. So is there anything you can share there?
Yes, absolutely. And I love this because that's what's really important. Wherever you're on in your email journey with your email community is like, okay, how do we get to where we want to be? Where we want to be serving more people. We want to be making the offers that they need, that they want, and that they choose to buy to work with us and so that we can remain in service for whatever our purpose is here, right? And the first piece is that consistency. Like, forget about what happened before, forget about how long it's been, forget about whether we think people are going to be aware that we pivoted a little bit, or all the things we tell ourselves that give us reason not to get back in there and get started. Just start. People are not sitting on the edges of their seats waiting for that email necessarily. And they're not necessarily going to even recognize that they haven't heard from you. So just get started. Just start emailing, start reaching out, create some consistency, aim for weekly. But if that doesn't feel like it works for you or your ideal clients, then go for every 2 weeks. But we want to begin the process of nurturing that relationship, especially if it's been a little while. And people are very quick to come around. So it doesn't really take much to just get back in there and start emailing consistently. And then within those emails, so one's going to be doing it, showing up on the regular for people, which doesn't have to be a particular day of the week. I mean, there can be some flexibility, and relationships survive that. But we're also now looking at using those emails as a place and a way to build trust. And we really need to demonstrate our expertise. We need to remind people what we do, why we do it. As you talk a lot about, Katja, what's the intention? What's our purpose here? Why are we in this line of work? Let's make sure our audience knows that. Oftentimes, that's really a critical piece for them in their buying decision. What are our values? What are some of the outcomes we've had with our clients that we work with? What's our pathway been to getting where we are? Because oftentimes we serve people based on what our own experience was, like the problems we solved for ourselves. We now turn around and want to help other people, make that journey a lot quicker for them. So we need to use, after starting to email consistently, use them to build trust, to share some personal information about who we are and what we do. Then you also want to map out some offers to your community. Think about what are the places you would most likely be able to serve them. If it's your high-end offers, if it's a group program, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be something new. It can be your regular, typical way that you work with people. But set up a strategic plan to email them around making that offer so that they're aware and they have all the information they need. So this is going to be a series of emails. So those who have not been emailing, don't be afraid. This is all about the nurturing and the building trust, so that we are just kind of speeding up that process around a particular time frame. And then you want to take action. Make it clear, write down dates, give yourself a framework and send. And this is the key part that I talk with my audience about quite a bit. We need our community to have sufficient information and ample opportunity. So what I mean by that is we need to tell them these things that build trust, what our credibility is, what our results are, why they might need whatever this thing is. They might need to hear a whole lot of that, and we're not going to jam all of that into one email. And the ample opportunity over time, it might only be a week. It doesn't have to be forever. We're going to give them time to work their process to make their decision to buy or not to buy. Not to buy, that's fine. But we want to help them get to that decision quicker. So the email campaign that we map out is exactly what does that. And we want to stick with it till the end. So a lot of times people will say, oh, I sent a couple of emails, no one's interested. And it's really critical that we stay the course with this, because people do need their own timeline. They don't see every email. And there's a lot that happens near the end, whatever that end point is, as we all know. Some of us wait to buy. until the day before or the day of. So as business owners, we being of service, wanting to help more people, we need to stay in there and give them sufficient reminders that, hey, that offer's going away, or the bonus, or the thing is ending, or the program's starting, and we don't want to start without you. So we really need to stick in there till the end and map that process out every time that we're going to make an offer to our community.
I love that what you just shared is golden. So ensure that you really take notes on that part and also take action. Like
Yeah,
put that in practice because you have gifts that are needed and people need to hear from you. So I know that selling through email might be challenging for some. We are often wanting to nurture, wanting to support, but then actually offering that service uh, can be tricky. So,
yeah.
what's one of the biggest mistakes that, let's say, leaves the money on the table when selling through email? So, what should
Yeah.
we be aware of?
Yes. So as we go through these steps, and this is what I've done with my community, is learn that they're very challenged by this, by making offers, by the mindset piece, by being consistent. So that's how I create a lot of what I do. And I have a toolkit that actually does a lot of this for people and helps them map it out. And one of the most critical pieces of that toolkit are the emails that happen after that time frame that you've set up. So enrollment's over, the group has started, or the sale has ended. Many people just say, okay, oh, well, that's that. It didn't go the way I had wished, or maybe it did. But what happens in that after period is really oftentimes when you can make more money and serve more people, when you use some strategies that I've incorporated into my toolkit to find out why people who didn't buy, why they didn't buy. So talk about being in communication with your community. Ask them. Just ask people, hey, it would be super helpful to know what's going on, and if you didn't buy, if you're willing to share why. And that information that we get, talk about gold. One, you may be able to offer something else that you have. Two, you're going to know maybe there are pieces you fell a little short on that you can now incorporate into the next time you make this offer or a similar offer. And sometimes you're going to find people missed it altogether. They say, oh, I didn't know, or I didn't know it ended 2 days ago, or whatever. So this piece that happens near the end, not only do many kind of falter during the process, which is why I do work with people on that and created my toolkit to like keep you in that lane throughout the offer, but the what some people call the post offer or the post launch phase, is where we really get a lot of learning. So the biggest mistake I see is people like not doing anything around that at all. They just kind of wash their hands of it and move on to the next thing. So if people take one thing away from today, it would be to remember that piece and to ask your community and make it easy for them to tell you too. So that's also what I try to help my people do, is to make it easier to get that information in a way that feels good to everybody.
Wow, I love that one. Great tip. Because sometimes when we finish card close, if we speak in those
Yes.
terms, we are like, oh, but
Right.
that's,
It's exhausting, right, Katja? I'm sure you've been there. We've all
yeah,
been there.
but it
Yeah.
is
And you,
like getting that information because I have done that type of email afterwards, and it's really eye-opening what people share and really finding ways how you can serve more. So that is a
yeah,
great way as well to maybe see it like, okay, let me just ask.
yeah,
Because
right.
when you
And we
ask,
don't
you shall receive answers.
exactly, we don't think of it that way because, but again, if we have this mindset shift of thinking more about being in community with the people who are on our list, that we tap into that piece in our brains that allows for and creates space for that two-way communication. So some will just tell you, and and others will really need that prompt to be asked. And it's not that they wouldn't share it, but why would
Mhm.
we leave it? This is really like all our email marketing. Why would we leave it up to them to take the initiative and reach out? Like, that's a lot of work. Wait, Deb, what's her email? Wait, where is that? And what was that thing? Like, ask them right there. Hit reply. Email me at this. Fill out this short little form. Answer this single question. Make it super easy for people because they're really giving you some valuable information in that exchange. And you're absolutely right, Katja, that what they tell you is often not things we would have realized, because we're sitting here and we're not necessarily in their shoes. So we have to open up that door and ask them, are they willing to help?
Yeah.
Can you help me out here?
Awesome. Yes. And I love that. Like you can shift that attitude, like asking for help. And that might be a
Yes.
way how you can position it. At least that worked for me. And so, and people often
Yes.
are willing to help you because they love you,
Yes.
they appreciate the content and the value you offer, and they often are happy to help.
Yeah.
And Deb, you have given us a lot to think about, and I love the value you have brought us here today. And I know you have put together a special gift for my community to take what we have been talking here today and go even deeper with you. So, can you share a little bit about the gift?
Yes, I'm happy to. I have a scorecard that I created around this very topic. And we've talked a little bit about what are some of the mistakes or what are some of the things that many business owners don't incorporate into their email strategy. And this scorecard that you can download will walk you through it so you can look at your own situation, your own audience, your own email practices, and pinpoint where you want to put your attention first. And when you download it, it's called 11 Reasons You're Not Getting 3 to 5 New Clients a Month yet, because we all have this potential when we tap into doing this a little bit better, or maybe a lot better. It comes with a short training too that's going to illustrate some of those top reasons and how you can get started addressing them. So I'd love it if everybody did that for themselves and for their audience so that they can better serve the people who really need them.
Yeah, love that gift. So check it out. I put the link on the show notes. So get it and implement those things because it is really time for us to be the messengers of light and love and share our work with the world. So email is a wonderful way how you can do that. And now, as we start wrapping up here, do you have a special message that you would like to share?
It would be that your message is important and you're here for a reason. And there are plenty of people out there who need exactly what you do best. And email your community to make that invitation to them so that you can help them solve the challenges that they're dealing with and be the solution that they've been searching for.
Oh, love it. So thank you so much, Deb, for everything you shared here with us today and all the work that you do in the world. And if you found this interview valuable, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. And don't forget to check our previous episodes too. So I'm sending you lots of light, lots of love. Bye for now.